Mannix?
No, I think that's Manic before. Okay, got any ideas?
I've heard that. I know I've heard it. I don't know.
It Takes a Thief.
It Takes a Thief. Okay.
With Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner. Yeah, yeah.
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 He was my hero, man. I loved that show. I used to walk around with a little burglar toolkit and shit.
You're breaking into the neighborhood houses?
No, I'd usually break into the bedroom where my cousins were and surprise them at my ability to pick locks. All right. Welcome to Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. This is our pre-draft episode, and we want to thank all of you that are watching. Our numbers are going up, Dork.
I saw that.
Yeah, our numbers.
Word is getting out.
Yeah, our numbers are going up. We want to thank you in Frankfurt, Germany. You are our number one listener.
You're our favorite listener.
Yeah, he tunes in every episode. Now I'm hoping, like I said, it's not a Russian bot or something, but you know.
Right, but we'll take it if it increases the viewership.
For damn sure. Okay.
We are going to talk draft. We'll go down the fantasy positions and other sleepers. We'll each do. You have a 49ers report.
I do.
We got a Chicago Bob Bears report. I'm doing a Seahawks report.
Yeah, I asked Hawaii Tom if he would do a Detroit Lions report, but he doesn't follow him anymore.
He doesn't follow him enough?
Yeah, he's been over there over 10 years now, and by that time...
Really? Wow.
By that time, you're probably not into football because it's not a thing over there.
Right.
All right. Okay, Dork, you know college football better than I do, for damn sure, and so why don't you kick it off and I'll respond.
Okay, first I'll go through the quarterbacks. It is not a good class. You got Mendoza at the top.
Yeah, Ty Simpson.
And I think you have to, obviously I think the Raiders with the quarterback need have to take him.
I agree.
Mighty Bust, yeah. I mean, he was he was okay, but not great before his big breakout this past year.
Right.
And I do worry about one-year wonders, but he was also very good.
Yeah, he was.
And
he won everything you can win.
Quarterback is so important that you absolutely have to take him, and we're all pulling for him.
New head coach, offensive minded. It'd be dumb not to.
Exactly.
Unless someone offered him 3 or 4 first rounders.
Right.
Or some shit. They might bail on him, but no, I think he's going number one, as does everyone else.
So after that, the two after that are Ty Simpson from Alabama, and then Garrett Nussmeier from LSU.
Uh-huh.
And they're both kind of the same. They're smallish.
Right.
They don't run real well.
What, 6 feet tall?
I think about 6'1", 6'2", 210.
Okay.
Which it's big enough, but they're not the big sturdy 6'5" dude back there.
I hear you. They're not Josh Allen.
And they're not runners. And in Simpson's case, he's just had 1 year, and that's a big red flag.
Sure.
That's like a Mitch Trubisky-sized red flag.
Big time.
Or
a Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance is another one. Just one great year, and exactly, that's another good example. And Nussmeier, he just hasn't put up great numbers. They say he has a lot of moxie.
Oh, I like moxie.
We
like moxie here at Dork and Dude.
I wouldn't blame anyone for going with either of them, because Simpson had some good games, but he also declined as the year went on. He was injured, and it's possible the scouts caught up to him too.
Uh-huh.
I do have some sleepers, though, that I like.
Okay.
I wouldn't say draft them anywhere before round 5 or 6.
Sure, but might develop into a decent journeyman backup.
Exactly, or you might strike gold. Who knows?
A la Brock Purdy.
Yeah. There's Drew Aller from Penn State.
Yep.
He had a bad year this year, but going into the year, he was considered maybe a top 10 pick.
Right.
Taylon Green from Arkansas. He's big, he's athletic, he's a good runner. He's not very accurate, but you could have said all the same stuff about Josh Allen.
Yeah, but Allen was the exception.
Allen was the exception, and the pros were
Most of
on
these
to
people
Allen.
say that if you're inaccurate coming out of college, the odds are you're going to remain inaccurate.
Exactly. But as a sixth or seventh round pick, an
A la
athlete like
Justin
that,
Fields.
a big athlete like that is worth a shot.
Sure.
And like I said, the pros, Allen was a top 10 pick.
Uh huh.
He wasn't a big raw guy they took in the third round.
Sure.
People saw something there.
Yeah, they did.
Um, Cole Payton I think it's North Dakota State.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
Real good Division II stats.
Uh huh.
And he's been consistent.
And North Dakota State's been producing some players.
Yeah, they have. And then I got five old, I call them old guys. They're between 24 something to 25
Yeah.
in age because they've been around a while.
Uh huh.
Okay, but Haynes King from Georgia Tech. He had 15 rushing TDs. He completed 70% of his passes with
Nice.
decent other numbers.
Uh-huh.
But he's 25.
Uh-huh. Plays for the Yellow Jackets?
The Yellow Jackets, or the Rambling Wreck if you prefer. There's Joey Aguilar from Tennessee, another guy who's a good runner with a high completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt, smallish but finished second in the Heisman voting.
You're digging deep going with Vandy.
I know, but this guy was a star this year.
Okay.
Amazing numbers again, at or over 70% completion percentage, and he is a good scrambler runner.
Okay.
But he may not be 6 feet tall, so.
Okay, like 5'11 and a half.
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then Joey Fagnano from UConn. 28-1 TD to interception ratio.
Nice.
69% completion percentage, and he has good size. He's like 6'4", 220.
Okay.
So these are guys, I mean, if you want to take a flyer late round, I think these guys are worth it. And I'll also throw Carson Beck out there.
Yeah, Beck was like number 5 on people's board.
And he's been a winner. He got to a championship game with Miami. He won at least one with Georgia, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And he's just been a good quarterback, a very good college quarterback, good size.
Someone take a shot on him.
So someone should take a shot on him. You just never know with quarterbacks.
I hear you.
And those are the guys I like.
All right. Well done, Dork.
Okay.
Running backs?
Running backs. Now, Jeremiah Love, I tend to agree with those who say he's all that.
Sure.
I just don't like drafting a running back if you're a bad team that early.
Yeah.
If you got the good line, sure, go for it.
Well, the Raiders made that mistake last year,
With
but
Genty.
this year it could pay off.
Yeah.
And same thing with Love. He might struggle in his first season. You're not going to the fucking Super Bowl. Draft the dude, develop him, work him into the offense where he's like a CMC dude.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
I still would rather take a lineman.
Yeah, not me.
And this draft is short on what they call the blue chip players.
Yeah. And he's a blue chip player.
He is a blue chip player. So you're getting a stud. He can run. He's a runner, blocker, receiver.
Yeah.
He can do it all, and if you use him right, he could be quite valuable.
Yeah, and if he's probably not going to become Marshall Faulk, but let's say he became pretty close to a Marshall Faulk. It looks like a genius pick at 4.
It does. And we shall see, but I'm gonna go on record as saying I think that's too early for a running back.
Okay, Dork. Before we continue, I can't be remiss and not have you tell your epic Mel Kiper story because it is draft season and you had actual conversations with Mel. Tell me the whole story. How did that happen? And how did it unfold?
Way back in Chicago in the 80s, or the Chicago land. I know how people who actually live in Chicago hate it when someone who lives close but outside of Chicago say they're from Chicago.
Sure.
Even though
they're in the suburbs.
If I said, I was living in Mount Prospect, no one would know where the hell I was, talking about.
I hear you.
Anyways, the greater Chicagoland area. They had a radio show called Kopic on Sports. You know, Chet Kopic, local loudmouth. You know, he
Okay.
was sort of a he had a daily hour-long sports show, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a good listen for a sports fan. I
Yeah.
mean, he was kind of a loudmouth, but
But that didn't bother you.
he was entertaining.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and anyways, he had Mel on once, and I took down the number Mel gave him at the end, saying, "This is how you can get my draft preview."
Uh-huh.
And
What about approximately what year was that?
let's say 84, 85,
Okay.
maybe.
All right.
And I don't know if he was on
Dude,
ESPN at
that's
the
40
time or
that's
not.
40 years ago.
Yeah, 40 plus years ago.
Wow.
And so I just call the number, and you know, you expect an operator, but I recognize the voice, and it's Mel himself.
I love it.
I love that he's just he did the draft analysis, he hustled, he
Yeah.
made himself into an icon,
Yeah, you did.
and we
And so
just
what did
talked a
Mel
little.
say?
Oh, I forget, just small talk, and he wanted to know how I heard about him.
Uh-huh.
And I told him I live in Chicago area, and I heard you on Chet Kopic's show, Kopic on
Because he's
Sports.
probably thinking to himself, I've only gotten 6 calls.
Yeah, yeah.
This dude's number 7. I got to
Mhm.
find out how the hell he heard about me.
But again, being a sports geek back in the day, I just ate up all the news. Wasn't like everywhere like it is now.
I hear you.
There was no NFL Network.
You had to dig.
ESPN was just getting started.
Yeah, you're
You
reading
had
the
to go
sports
out and
section.
get your own stuff,
Yeah.
And it was a real good preview. He had all the players listed,
How much
broken
did it
down,
cost?
ranked.
Do you remember?
Oh, it was back then maybe $7.95,
Sweet.
something like that.
Uh,
And I wish I still had it. That'd just be a fun little thing to look
well,
back
that's what
on.
I said to you, man. That if you still had that, that's a collectible now that he is
Right.
an icon.
Right? And then, anyways,
There might not be any of those from 1985 in fucking circulation.
yeah, and I could have the years wrong, but
Whatever year.
whatever. Yeah. And then next thing I know, I'm hearing Bill Tobin on a draft show saying, "Who the hell is Mel Kiper?"
And you're going, I know that guy.
I know, that's my good buddy.
Uh,
And when he hears about the Dork, he says, "Who?"
I hear you. But anyway, great story, Dork. Thanks again for recounting.
Yeah. Okay, now let's continue with the running backs. Now the second-rated one is Jadarian Price, and
Yeah.
he's the other Notre Dame back.
Yep.
And as a Bears fan, I'm a little leery of the second back.
Yeah, but he's got less work on his body and less
Well,
wear and tear. And
When Bijan came out, we drafted Roshan Johnson, who was his backup.
only because you couldn't have drafted Bijan.
Right, but he came in the third or fourth round, and people liked him,
Yeah.
and he just didn't get it done.
Now, is he still with the club?
I think he is.
Probably not after this
Not
week.
much longer. I think he might be a decent special teamer, though, so
Yeah,
that
and
might keep him working.
that's important. You need those guys.
And I also heard that Price has fumbling issues that he has to fix.
Now they'll
That
fix
doesn't mean he isn't talented.
Uh-huh.
But here are the guys I like, the other runners. There's 2 from Penn State, Nicholas Stapleton and Caton Allen. And I like both of them. And this harkens back to the 1972 draft, dude.
Uh-huh.
When the two running backs out of Penn State were Franco Harris and Lydell Mitchell. And they became the 2 best running backs in that draft.
Yeah, they did.
So 54 years later, history repeats itself.
Yeah, but previously you were saying don't take the second running back.
Who knows? Sometimes
You're contradicting yourself, Dork.
It took 54 years to work out.
I hear you. No, if they're 2 good backs and they're fairly close in talent, someone's going to take a flyer.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, 2 good all-around backs are Emmett Johnson from Nebraska and Jonah Coleman from Washington.
Okay.
Good runners, good blockers, decent receivers. Those are 2 guys I'd say 3rd, 4th round, probably real good value.
Okay.
Gadget guys, 2 of them. Jamari Taylor from Virginia. These are smallish guys, but speedy.
Sure. Probably return dudes.
And Noah Whittington from Oregon. and they're both again good blockers and receivers.
Uh-huh.
So these are guys to look at late, and then just some others. Jam Miller from Alabama didn't have great numbers, but he had last year, and the offensive line had its issues in Bama. Mike Washington from Arkansas, who I think is kind of overrated, and then Seth McGowan from Kentucky.
Okay.
So those are the guys I like.
Sweet.
Now let's go to wide receivers. Um, so Carnell Tate from Ohio State is the top-rated one,
He is.
and my mood with Ohio State receivers is just draft them.
Yeah.
Yeah, JSN, Abuka,
Just like LSU.
LSU. Yeah, I mean,
Just draft the guy.
just draft the guy.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
develop them very well.
I like Makai Lemon from USC quite a bit.
A lot of
He's a
people.
slot guy, I
Yeah,
guess,
but
but
since I got the Rams to win the Super Bowl, I hope he falls to them in the first round.
in Mel's mock, he gave the Rams Lemon.
Yeah, because like Puka's becoming a basket case.
Yeah, he seems to be working on himself though.
But that's good, and
you know,
everybody deserves the
yeah,
benefit of a doubt, and
unless you commit a felony like James Pierce, but
yeah,
well, you got to go through the legal system for that. But
uh-huh.
they gave up a first-round draft pick for that guy.
That's what bad organizations do.
Yes, it is.
Those Atlanta Falcons, man.
Anyways, and the red Jordan Tyson from Arizona, oft injured, but very talented, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So if you think he can get healthy, that's another one. But the other ones I like in order. Skylar Bell from UConn, I think, is a good sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
Zachariah Branch from Georgia, kind of short but very speedy.
Yeah, I heard some analysis on, I think it was him today. Uh, isn't there two Alabama wide receivers that are probably going to go in the draft?
I got this. He's from Georgia.
I mean, George. Yeah, maybe it was Alabama. And never mind, Dork.
Alabama has a guy named Jeremy Bernard, who could be
Oh,
another.
I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. And they said that like his average route run was like 3.5 yards or some
Yeah,
shit.
and
And he's just kind of a possession guy.
he's a possession guy, but he's also a runner. They use him out of the backfield.
Okay.
There's a potential Debo Samuel there.
Okay.
Um, Also, the two Indiana guys I like, Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt.
Uh-huh.
Denzel Boston from Washington, Chris Bell from Louisville, Chris Brazel from Tennessee, big guy, big athletic guy.
Pounder.
And then Casey Concepcion, who they like more than I do, from A&M. And those are the guys.
Oh, Concepcion, a lot of people are saying he could go in the late first round.
He could, yeah. A lot of people like him. I'm not wild about him.
Oh, why
I
not?
don't know why. I didn't catch it. If I remember right, I kind of go, did you catch a big percentage of your team's passes?
Mm-hmm.
And, there's some exceptions, like Ohio State, obviously, where there's great receivers everywhere.
Right.
But he didn't, I assume.
Okay.
And it could have been a down year.
All right.
But it's a good year for receivers.
It's a very good year for receivers.
It's like there's going to be good ones in the third or fourth round, and that's how you play the draft is go to the strong positions.
And there'll be one of those fourth rounders that'll pop.
Yep.
Tight ends, Dork?
Tight ends. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon.
Number one tight end.
Number one. He's young. He's athletic. He's fast. He was the leading receiver on a very good offense, and to me, I think that's impressive.
And they say his football IQ is off the chart.
Yes, they say he interviewed, well. And this is a guy who's barely 21, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about Kansas City possibly taking him at 9. And,
Could be a top 10 guy.
yeah. The next ones I like are Max Clare from Ohio State,
Okay.
Eli Stowers from Vandy, who everyone likes.
Right.
And I also like this guy who's rated a little bit lower from Houston, Tanner Koziel.
Okay.
All this guy does is put up big reception numbers. Plus, he's 6'7". 250. And they talk about,
Wow.
that he's got some issues. They worry about his toughness.
Right.
I don't know if the guy catches balls like he does.
Right.
I'm I'm taking a chance on him at some point. And
Uh,
he's that big,
sure.
red zone guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And just some other names: Dalen Bentley from Utah, Sam Rush from Stanford, Justin Joly from NC State, Michael Tripp from Baylor, and then there's a guy from Texas A&M, Nate Borkercher, I think it's pronounced.
Okay.
Probably not, but that's close. Who is the best blocker of the bunch, from what I understand?
Yeah.
And
And they're looking at blocking
yes,
tight ends more
yes,
because they're running those 12.
yeah, and not only are the blockers, a good thing, because more blocking, that's good,
Yeah, for the quarterback and
but
the running back.
they're good check down guys too, the
And
blocking tight ends.
yeah, yeah,
So
because they're blocking and then they just float out
they
into the
just,
flat.
if the quarterback may yell Omaha, and the tight end just,
Yeah,
like, I'm under pressure, someone get free, and
tight ends have never been more important.
right, right. I mean, there's a lot of the Bears are one with two good tight ends,
Uh-huh.
and as we'll hear
Most teams want to.
in
Although I heard that it's not a rumor or anything, but someone was speculating that Komet could be moved on draft day.
he could be, We'll see.
Because if some teams targeting some tight end, they miss out on the dude. They might he might be a default position.
Yeah, and but
Because
they,
Loveland's the man.
Loveland is the man, and I don't see anyone out there that's Loveland, Bowers, or Warren level. I think Sadiq has that potential,
Sure.
but he's young, and I don't expect him to come in like those three did.
I hear you. Okay, should we get on with our reports?
Yeah, should I do Chicago Bob's first here?
Sure.
Let me take
And then,
off my...
and then I'm doing the 49ers, and then the Dork is doing Seattle, which should be pretty quick because they only have, what, 4 fucking picks?
They have 1, 2, 3, and 7.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's from Bob. Hey, Dork and Dude, happy NFL New Year to you. The 2026 NFL offseason has been a relatively quiet one for the Bears. Last year, they broke the bank to add talent in the trenches on both sides of the ball. The Bears created some necessary cap space by trading wide receiver DJ Moore and cutting linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. They used that savings to acquire safety Kobe Bryant from the Seahawks, linebacker Devin Bush from the Browns, defensive tackle Neville Gallimore from the Colts, and wide receiver kick returner Khalif Raymond from the Lions.
I thought that was a good pickup.
I think so, yeah. They also picked up center Garrett Bradbury after Drew Dahlman suddenly retired.
Mm-hmm. Dahlman's been around a long time.
Yeah. With the draft the experts say is deep but short on blue chip talent, it's anyone's guess what the Bears will do. And here's their top roster need. Defensive line. They need to get younger and cheaper. Best edge or DT available. Safety, they still in need because they lost both starters, Byard and Brisker.
Byard was awesome.
He was. I think he led the league in interceptions.
He did.
Linebacker.
10 or something?
Yeah. TJ Edwards is coming off a broken leg and could be slower than ever. OT. They are running it back with Theo Benedict, Braxton Jones, former first-rounder Jarek Willis, picked by the Browns. And if a tackle they love falls into their lap, will they pull the trigger? I think yes. Center, because Garrett Bradbury is a stopgap, and I would add just interior offensive line.
In general.
Because Tooney is getting older, as good as he is.
Yep.
And Jonah Jackson, who may have been their best offensive lineman last year, he has been inconsistent.
Uh-huh.
Cornerback, I'm not convinced that Jalen Johnson will ever get back to the player he was, and you can never have enough good cover guys. Tight end, Ben Johnson uses 2 tight end sets often. They will need depth. And then wide receiver to cover for the loss of Moore and Zacchaeus. And their picks, here's Bob's mock draft.
But just real quickly, Zacchaeus never did shit.
He was decent, but he's a 3rd or 4th receiver at best.
Yeah.
You know?
What did he have? 25 receptions or something?
Something like that, yeah. Um, good player, but not one you need to re-sign it.
Definitely. He's a depth guy.
Okay, round one, he has them taking safety, and they have the 25th overall pick. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety from Toledo.
Okay.
He's kind of a big stud. I don't know if he'll last that long, but it's a good thought.
So offensive line.
Safety.
Oh, safety.
Yeah.
That's a need.
Dominique Orange, defensive interior from Iowa State.
They need some pass rush.
I'm just going to say, I like the idea for when they wear their alternate orange jerseys
Yeah.
to have a guy with the name Orange on the back.
Why not?
It's just kind of cool.
I don't know that it's worth a second, third round pick. But...
Round two is Edge, the second round two pick.
Yeah.
And he has Derek Moore from Michigan. And I do like that one.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of good edge rushers.
Yeah, they say it's deep in edge
round
rushers.
Two you could get, and among them, I'll mention them. Round 2 and 3, Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State, Joshua Josephs, Tennessee, Mason Thompson from Oklahoma, and this guy's actually a linebacker, but Jacob Rodriguez could be an impact player from Texas Tech.
Cool.
Okay, Bob wraps it up. Oh, and then round 4, Will Kachmarek, tight end, Ohio State.
Okay.
I like the other Ohio State tight end. What did I say his name was? Max Clare.
Okay.
But again, Ohio State receivers, I'm all in.
Sure.
Oh, and round 3 center, Sam Hecht from Kansas State, which fine pick. Okay, so he goes on. The D linemen projected to be available at 25 don't thrill me, so I filled the glaring need at safety. Dominique Orange would fit nicely as a run stuffer in the Bears DT rotation. Moore might be a little bit of a reach at number 60, but he has good productivity and the length they like. I also think he might be a Ben Johnson guy or a Dennis Allen guy, and then he's taking a center and a blocking tight end.
Uh-huh. Okay, I like it.
And I agree with this last comment. It would not surprise me if the Bears traded out of the first round to take more swings at premium positions like cornerback, left tackle, and wide receiver. And then he mentions Texas Tech linebacker Jake Rodriguez as a player the Bears like and could be available in the mid-30s.
Yeah, if somebody wants to move up and they can get another second-round pick or something, what the fuck?
They can scoop up another premium pick, I agree. But that's easier said than done.
True. But you never know. They're setting, what, 25?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to move up for
Simpson. That's
Simpson.
The talk.
Yeah.
They got Arizona, the Jets.
Or somebody's in love with some dude, and
yeah, it could happen.
They don't think he'll get back to him, and they want him.
I don't think it's going to happen. But most rankings I see, he's rated in the late 20s. But I would really love that tackle, Caden Proctor from Alabama.
A lot of people are talking him up.
They say he could be amazing at left tackle. And if you look at his PFF grade, it looks like he was. But they also say he's inconsistent and struggles with weight.
Mm-hmm.
But they also say even if he can't handle left tackle, he'll be stellar inside offensive line.
Sure.
And
run
I'm
stopper.
Thinking, if this guy falls in their laps, they got to take him.
I hear you.
So that's my feeling on the Bears.
Well, didn't he close out with some credits?
Oh, yeah. He gets his coverage from The Athletic, the Chicago Sun-Times, and 670 Sports Radio, The Score.
I hope he didn't get it from Diana Rossini. I don't think she's going to be doing any updates here.
I don't think so, no. Although it sounds
I shouldn't
like,
make fun.
It sounds like there's nothing to that, though.
What do you mean?
Oh, that story. And maybe
she
there
resigned.
is, maybe there
She
isn't.
wouldn't resign if it wasn't true.
Well, her contract was up in a month, so.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll get on with somebody else. But
Yeah.
she'll probably be taking a little break, I'm thinking.
Could be.
And
if it happened, whatever. I'm not too worried about it.
Well, I'm not some kind of moralist or anything.
That's not like that. It's not like she was, or Vrabel was filming practices of other teams.
I hear you.
With people in NFL films gear.
I hear you.
You know.
But whenever there's shit like this, there's going to be some fallout for the coach.
Oh yeah. Well, he's the face of the franchise, and you can't have
Yeah,
someone
yes.
who's playing around on
Yeah, and
on his wife.
so he's
Nor
he's ducking out of press conferences.
nor can you have a reporter who's supposed to be impartial in their coverage.
I
You
hear you.
know,
Having a relationship with a coach, head coach. Anyway, okay, I'm ready for my 49ers report.
let's hear it.
All right. Okay, in free agency, the 49ers made a few moves. They picked, biggest being picking up Mike Evans. They also signed Christian Kirk to a one-year deal, and they picked up defensive tackle Osa Odumwagma.
Sounds like a dude.
I'm you can't help me pronouncing football players' names.
No, no,
for
I'm the one
damn
that gets
sure.
them wrong.
Okay, their needs are edge rushers. Bosa and the rookie last year, Mikael Williams, both coming off injuries. Williams an ACL. He probably should be fine because it happened early, but that's a definite need. Wide receiver, of course. They're probably going to lose Jennings. Ricky Pearsall's injury prone.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans, what's he got? A couple more years.
Yeah.
So they need to get younger there, and they need to get people that can stay on the field. Offensive linemen, they lost 2 starters. They need safety and cornerback help.
And have they? Let me interrupt. Have they
Sure.
signed? Have they re-signed Trent Williams?
No,
No, not yet.
they're working on it.
They're working on it.
And
Okay.
I think, knowing the Niners, that they will ultimately do that.
They will get it done. It sounds
But it's going
like.
to be probably a one-year deal. Yeah. And he's probably going to want 2 or something.
Yeah.
What is he, 34?
Oh, I think he's older than that.
Okay. Anyway, tight end, Kittle's aging. He's starting to show being injury prone. And then running back, CMC's getting up there. And really the only person of interest they got is Jordan James.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to be grabbing some running back at some point in the draft.
And it's a good class, so.
It is, so they might as well capitalize.
Trent Williams is 37, by the way.
37. Yeah,
Yeah.
come on.
38 on July 19th. So it'll be 38 before the season.
Yeah, so I think they just want to lock him up for one more year.
Yep.
They'll probably kick him some extra dough. Okay, so round 1, everybody and his brother is predicting the 49ers to take offensive tackle Caleb Lemieux from Utah. He allowed no sacks last year.
Now, is he the guy who can play anywhere on the line?
I don't.
Even said, "Hey, I can play center for you."
Yeah.
I think he might be.
Yeah. I think he's probably one of those big ass Samoan dudes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
Utah collects those
they
guys.
do.
Yeah.
So does like Stanford,
Mhm.
USC, and those cats are tough.
They are. They got the
Uh,
low center of gravity. They're stout,
and they're
stocky.
huge, and they're big,
Yeah.
big boned. I remember when I was in the Army in Hawaii, I served with a lot of Samoans,
Yeah.
and those cats are huge,
And good rugby players.
big time. Okay, so that's what they pick. Let's see here. He's also considered a little bit of a project.
Yeah.
Round 2, they need help at edge. I got him going Gabe Jacobs from Illinois.
You know, he's one of those guys. When I hear about him, they kind of talk about him like this guy could be special. You know, even though he's rated as a
49ers
second
always,
round
they
pick.
usually scout and draft well.
Yeah, they do.
And apparently this guy's on their radar.
Yeah.
Their radar. That's pick number 58. Round 1, by the way. They have pick number 27.
Yeah.
And then all they've got left is 2 fourth rounders. 4 fourth rounders. First is number 127. I got him going offensive lineman Trey Zune the third from
A&M.
Texas A&M. At number 133, they need a safety. They're going VJ Payne, Kansas State. Number 138, they're going to get at least one wide receiver. I kind of predict, even with the limited picks they got, they might draft 2.
Yeah.
They're going to go with Deion Burks, Oklahoma. And then with pick number 144, Sam Roche, tight end, Stanford.
Mm-hmm. He's a good one.
And they say he can block and catch.
Yeah.
6'6", 267. Prototypical.
Yeah.
I got a bold pick, though. And you got to give a bold pick for the Seahawks.
Okay.
Round one, I think the Niners, if he's on the board, and if not, they might even pull some deal where they trade up a player and a fourth round pick or some bullshit. KC Conception, wide receiver.
Oh.
Concepcion.
Okay.
Uh, that would he's considered one of the top five
Oh,
dudes.
he's got skills. He's just been a little erratic, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, good coaching will change that.
That can, yeah. You get in a place like San Francisco.
Yep. And then also, I see a scenario where the Niners could package two of those fourth rounders to move up for a player they like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's my 49er report.
No, that's good. That's good. Offensive line, edge, and with the edge, you're going to get good edges in round 2 or 3.
Yeah,
There's just a lot of good ones there, and you're doing your team a disservice
Yeah,
if you don't try and pick one of them
their
up.
first round pick is a Trent Williams replacement who can play on any position
Yeah.
on the line.
Yeah.
And he could anchor your line for 10 years. Okay, Dork, let's see what the Seahawks got with their four picks.
I guess, the first question, can they repeat? They've lost some players.
Walker.
The defensive backfield is a little thin. They lost Kenneth Walker.
And they've only got 4 picks, and they got to replace 2 players in their secondary and their running back.
Yeah.
That's why I think they'll trade down for more picks.
They might if they can. And
Snyder does it.
Yeah, he does. But if they're healthy and focused, I see no reason they can't repeat. They're the second favorite behind the Rams on DraftKings.
I agree.
But the division and the entire NFC is good enough that missing the playoffs is a possibility.
No doubt.
If things, spiral downward.
Yes, yeah. They were lucky to do what they did last year with all those injuries and shit.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I feel the best strategy for such a team is just draft the best athlete available.
Sure.
And I think O-line depth is the most important.
And a running back.
Again, I wouldn't draft a running back.
Well, who they got? Charbonnet might not even be back till week 5 or 6.
He's back. They got Emmanuel Stewart they signed. They drafted a guy from Georgia last year, I want to say. I forget his name.
Yeah, that's why you forget his name is
Yeah.
because he's a nobody.
Well, they had, Walker and Charbonnet.
Yeah, no, they need to take, they need to, in my opinion, they need to grab one of the top 7 or 8 backs on the board.
I don't know. There's cheap veterans out there. Najee, Joe Mixon. You get one of these guys in a contract year, they might really perform for
Not
you.
excited.
Yeah, I'm going to use my top 3 picks on other positions.
All right, Dork, you're the man.
That's me.
Yeah, this is your mock.
So what I got them doing, I actually did this on PFF.
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
They have that mock draft simulator
Oh,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
can go through.
Yeah.
So in round 1, I had them taking a guard, Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon.
Okay.
He's rated bubble first rounder.
Okay.
And, he's kind of in the same position that Gray Zabel was, their pick last year.
Yeah.
He's an older prospect, but he was very productive.
Uh-huh.
And Zabel came in and started, and it
had
was
a
huge
great
for
year.
them. Yeah. So that's who I got him going with there. Their second round pick, there's 4 edges I wrote down. Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State, Joshua Josephs from Tennessee, Derek Moore from Michigan, and Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. I think Derek Moore from Michigan is the best one.
Uh-huh.
But I also kind of would like it if the Bears got him. But if he's there for the Seahawks, I think it'd be a good move.
Okay.
Then third round defensive back, and the 2 I wrote down were Genesis Smith from Arizona and Zakee Wheatley from Penn State.
Okay.
They're both tall safeties.
And that's what they like.
And playmakers.
Uh-huh.
And in the 7th round, the guy I like is Noah Whittington, the gadget running back from Oregon.
Okay.
And that's where, I think him and between Stewart and maybe sign a veteran that can be a bridge to when Charbonnet returns.
Yeah, they might pick up some dude off, like Mixon off the scrap heap to get him through the first 6 or 7 games.
But I could also see John Schneider does. I mean, Walker and Charbonnet were both second-round picks.
Yep.
He took Rashad Penny at the end of round 1 once.
He moved up for him. He could have got him probably in the second round.
Yeah, and so if they see a running back they like, I suspect they will take him. Yeah,
I have no doubt. That's the way they operate.
Yeah, and like the Bears, I think it'd be good if they could trade down.
Yeah,
from round 1 and scoop up an extra pick.
I agree.
Now, my bold pick that in round 2 or 3, they draft Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback.
Okay.
And start, because
I like that.
You know, they don't. Darnold has been great, and props to him.
Sure.
But I'm still not totally confident in him as
a
long-term answer. There were some throws in the Super Bowl where I was like, "Oh, holy shit, he got away with one."
Yeah, no, they've got to. If anything, they have to develop a good backup for the next 3 years.
Yep.
Because that might be all Darnold's got left, unless he implodes.
Yeah.
And if he implodes, you might have to throw the kid in there in year 2.
Yep. So I
like it.
My bold pick is round 2 or 3, they grab a quarterback.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just
maybe Carson Beck.
There you go. Some people say he could fall to maybe the 4th or 5th round.
Exactly.
Yeah, grab that guy, develop him.
If he's there in the 5th, you trade him on next year 4th for the pick, and
there you go. Okay, I'm just running down some of my bets real quick. Hey, and by the way, I am definitely on the Tennessee Titans bandwagon this year, man.
If you haven't noticed the hat.
Yeah. And I picked up some new gear. I got me a Rams hat, and I got me a Titans hat.
Did you get them at TJ Maxx, dude?
No, I ordered them from Fanatics.
Okay.
They're the best.
Yeah, you can get if you get the bargain code from them, you can get some good deals.
Well, and if you spend over $29, you get free shipping.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
anyway,
huge.
Yeah. Shout out to Fanatics. Okay, so my Titans, I've got them to win the AFC South at plus 750.
I love it. It's as good as some of the teams have been. It's still a division in flux.
No doubt. And then I also, what did I get? Oh, I've been trying to get the Titans over win total. I think it's 6.5, but it's minus 140 juice. So I'm gonna wait till after the draft. Maybe I can get them at, even money or minus 110 or some shit. I want to bet their win total over. And which are some other ones I like here? I got the Panthers to win the NFC South at plus 360.
That is a hell of a deal.
I think that number's still up, Dork. And then I've got, let's see what else. Oh, I might end up with a Vikings hat here before the season starts, because I'm all in on the Vikings this fucking year.
I kind of like them as an NFC North winner for sure.
Well, I've got them at over 8.5 at plus 115. I'm looking at betting them to win the NFC North. I think they're plus 290 right now.
Yeah.
Which is a good number, almost 3-1. But I did a couple of parlays, Dork. Check this out. I got $10 on Tennessee plus Carolina plus Minnesota to make the playoffs at 31-1.
I love it.
And then I've got New England plus Detroit plus Seattle to miss the playoffs at 18-1.
Damn.
I'm going to kick some ass again this year, Dork.
You are on it, dude. I love it.
I'm on fucking fire. And I'm going to Vegas next week, people.
Yeah, so if you're in Vegas, stop by, find the dude, and say hello.
That's it. I'll be visiting Gil Alexander and Kelly Bidlin at the Veasan Studios and the Circa Resort. Say hi and stuff.
You going to enter the Circa contest?
For $1,000?
Yeah, probably not.
No. Or is it $10,000?
I have no idea. I really don't.
I think it used to be. Used to be $1,000, but it might be more now. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again for watching Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. Where can they find us out there, Dork?
Where can they find us?
Apple.
iHeart, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, Spotify, all that.
Thanks for watching. The draft is a week away. It's one of the best days in football, don't you think?
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Every fan of their team can dream big.
Yep.
Until next October, when cold reality hits that your team picked a bunch of clowns.
That's it, Dork.
But in April, hope springs eternal.
Yep. The last many years, Dork and I watched the draft together while he's texting his brother, Chicago Bob.
You got it.
All right, folks. Well, enjoy the draft. We will be doing a post-draft the following Thursday. So that's 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Thanks again for watching Fantasy Football with the Dork and the Dude. The boy's still around.
Putting a pox on every team that crossed us.
That's it. All right. He actually totally torpedoed your championship hopes last year, Dork. Independently, just him.
Just him, yeah.